we go. And we're live.
It's all the way live.
Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 234. Today is Thursday, August 23rd, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
What's going on, Jizzy Mac, Banger Committee, Antonio, Ramo, Evan. Oh, Evan, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning,
Welcome back.
Welcome. Who won the free Satoshi yesterday?
Oh, yeah. So our free Satoshi's winner is Bergtown Music Group. Thank you for your comment in response to our question about taxes on hard forks. We asked, do you think regular retail people will have to pay taxes? Do you think it will actually be required? His answer was most of the taxes will probably come from institutional and ETF people, simply because if they hold Bitcoin and then another hard fork happens and they get airdrop tokens, they'll be liable for that tax. Most regular retail investors who have, small amounts of Bitcoin, less than, 10,000 or so, they probably won't be looked at as big as far as taxes, but these institutions will. So thanks for that comment, Bergtown Music Group, and those free Satoshis are on the way.
Thank you. All right, let's jump into it. Top story, which shouldn't come as a big surprise to anyone. We talked about it here many times, but the SEC rejects 9 Bitcoin ETF applications from ProShares, Direction, and Granite Shares.
They hit them with a Dikembe. It was like,
right?
Nobody's getting an ETF.
Right. For no reason either, of course. Yeah. Looks like, the anticipated deadline was today, August 23rd. Mm-hmm. A few of the ETFs who have applications have been submitted or were waiting for a response. Yep. And the SEC have rejected a further 7 proposed ETFs alongside the ProShares pair. Mm-hmm. Those are the 5 from Direction you can see here. Listing on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA, and 2 proposals from Granite Shares. The SEC stated that the commission is disapproving this proposed rule change because, as discussed below, the exchange has not met its burden under the Exchange Act and the commission's rules of practice to demonstrate that its proposal is consistent with the requirements of the Exchange Act section, whatever, in particular the requirement that a national securities exchange rule be designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices.
Sure.
So they're saying it's because of the market manipulation, but at the same time, Enron.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Our entire economy.
Bernie Madoff. I know, right? Yeah, the U.S. dollar. So, yeah. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, this is just a long line of proof that we've been saying, long before. This is just more proof. We don't need ETFs. You don't need it. The ETFs were not in the white paper. ETFs were not a part of the original grand scheme of Bitcoin. Like we've said before, 2018 is the year of choosing a side, and every time there's tries to be some sort of connection between the archaic old system and the new system, it always gets slapped down by the regulators, simply because they simply can't coexist completely. They can coexist maybe beside each other if it's hands off on both sides, but together we're starting to see that this is not going to happen right now. They may, approve one later. However, I guess Bitcoin isn't liquid enough. They say it's because of manipulation, but like we've stated, if that was your ruling based on it, then no exchanges will be open. There's constant manipulation in every market that we've seen. However, you have to be able to trade through it. And SEC doesn't think Bitcoin's ready, but we don't need it. So that's the biggest message we have to make sure people who are watching, people who you share with, who cares? Bitcoin has survived this long without it. It'll keep going without it. It's still a totally different system. We don't need it. So this ETF rejection doesn't surprise me. I think everybody was expecting a rejection.
Right.
But if you were, basing your buys and sells and how you charted based off the ETF decision, you were doing it wrong anyway. It was just sort of one of those things that if it did come, it may help, but it didn't, and we don't need it. So.
Jizzy Max said ETF just means new money. That's what we really need. Doesn't have to be through an ETF. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. We already discussed the ETN. We're in Sweden, and we've discussed how you really just need an onboarding process for people to be able to buy it. Backed. We talked about Backed being a platform that may be able to handle that. You don't actually need an ETF. We keep trying to explain this to people, but they think an ETF is
that's the feds right there.
That's the SEC right there. But it's funny how the ETF has got so much news around it when all this other development has happened to help Bitcoin be better, the increased adoption, better technology, and everybody's talking about ETFs. Who cares, man? Forget it.
All right. Next up, unless somebody car about to get ticketed, because that happens often around here.
Oh, yeah.
United States, Hawaii representative reveals crypto holdings of Ethereum and Litecoin after rule change.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Hawaii's Democratic representative Tulsi Gabbard has joined the list of U.S. politicians who have invested in cryptocurrency, having disclosed purchases of Litecoin and Ethereum. Bloomberg reported August 23rd. Of course, she discloses after that whole snafu came where it was like, hey, if you work for the United States government, we want to know how much crypto you have between $1,000 and $15,000, which still doesn't make sense because I guess if you go under or over that amount, you're in the clear.
Yeah, in the clear.
But if you want to be an old average basic politician, we're definitely going to tag you in, for that. So it looks like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good news to see another person finally come out and say, hey, I have it too, guys, and I work with you all. I'm not a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just Bitcoin. That's a good thing. You know, most people who bring it up, they say their kids have Bitcoin or they may have a small amount of Bitcoin. She actually has Litecoin and Ethereum. So it's sort of, you know, an expansion of where we're going. People are starting to see they can buy these products as well. Probably got it off of Coinbase like most people. But the fact that it has the ability to impact Congress people and Congress senators or House of Representatives, that's great to me, because that's less of a reason for them to try and push regulatory stuff on regular people like us, because they have it, so they wouldn't want to impart on themselves. So that's good to see, definitely.
Yeah. All right. The World Bank is about to settle a blockchain bond worth $73 million.
Word.
What is the World Bank doing meddling in blockchain?
Oh, man. Well, the World Bank, they've actually, they've priced what it deems the world's first public blockchain bond. Next week, they'll be settling a $73 million bond. And this bond is denominated in Australian dollars. However, in American, it's 73 million. It's dubbed Bondi for the blockchain operated new debt instrument. That's a lot of words in one. And this bond will see CBA as the sole arranger, and it's priced to yield a 2.25% return. It was engineered for the kangaroo deal.
That sounds boring too.
Yeah, like what? 2.2. Okay. The bond was engineered for the kangaroo deal at 23 basis points above the benchmark rates, which basically means it's sold higher than where it was before. And the World Bank, they issue about 50 to 60 billion in bonds, so $73 million is sort of a small test just to see if it'll work. And they'll be using the Ethereum blockchain developed on Microsoft's cloud computing platform, which we've discussed before. We've said that this is coming, and we'll see how this first test run goes for them, because I'm sure if it goes good, you'll have a bunch of bonds being settled on the Ethereum network. So it's
funny, they keep trying to figure out ways to create value out of nothing, people.
Yeah,
like that's what's going on. Same we did with the regular fiat market. We're seeing that here: the bonds, the ETFs, the futures.
Yeah,
it's all this stuff to basically bet on the underlying asset instead of just telling people to buy the underlying asset.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous, but hey, you gotta love the hustle.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna get their claws in it somehow. At least test it. And like who is that just now? It says Jizzy Mac. They just threw blockchain in the name for hype. Hey man, we've seen that this whole year. There's been companies that have nothing to do with blockchain.
Right.
They throw it in there and say we're doing our blockchain testing, and it goes from there. So we'll definitely see how it goes for them. If it works, like we've always said before, if it works in one place, they'll try it somewhere else. So that's definitely something to look out for from the World Bank.
Right.
Or as somebody on here call him the world's thief.
With Torrance J playlist is going on. Kevin Hodges, Minho Donahue on the train, but they're live. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Who else we have?
Everybody
Sergeant Crypto, welcome back. Vivian Samuels, hello. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Same old.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of testing from these companies, and then they just go away, like R3. Corda, we've seen some of these companies, they try it and then they realize, well, we can have blockchain, but if we don't have the currency to settle it, we're basically doing the same thing with a slower database. So, and
that's for free, and they don't like working for free.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin wallet provider receives e-money license from UK regulator. Here we go. Another fake license, but it lets you operate without the police beating down your door.
Yeah.
Wirex, a London-based Bitcoin wallet and payment card provider, announced on August 23rd that has become the third crypto-enabled company to receive an e-money license from UK financial regulators. The license, which is granted by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, enables the company to issue electronic money and provide payment services throughout the European Union and European Free Trade Association, according to public records.
Shout out to Wirex.
Good job, Wirex.
Yeah, shout out to them, because we already know New York's big license is almost impossible to get, and London's look like it's even harder to get. This is only the third one ever, third e-money license ever from the UK financial regulators. However, like we said, you have to go through this red tape if you become a big company, but these licenses really are just made up out of thin air. They did not exist 3 or 4 years ago. They were just something placed in front of companies to say, well, if you actually want to flourish as a company, you got to get over this hurdle. And I'm glad to see Wirex has gotten over it. We actually mentioned them in our last newsletter. Yes, that's good to see from Wirex making that progress out in London. So,
and again, it's one of those things. It's good for them as a company, but again, just the fact that you need this e-money license to operate is ridiculous. We talk about it all the time, but I mean,
license all of them. Yeah.
Right. But right now, I guess play by the rules until you figure out how to operate outside of them.
Yeah. And it seems to be the business plan for most of these companies is make as much money as possible while the rules are still shaky. And then when it comes to that point, okay, we'll pay for the license and then keep on going. So,
they're like bird and lime scooters. Throw scooters everywhere. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, yeah.
Antonio say he loves Wirex. He has 3 of those cards. Nice. Oh, well, good to hear it actually worked. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I say. I know a lot of people in Europe that use Wirex.
Okay, well, hey, that's what's up. And last but not least, of course, it's been a slow news week again. California police arrest teenage SIM swapper who allegedly stole crypto from cell phones. What? Of course, in California, they arrested everybody here.
His purchases were the funniest part, though.
Right? Police in California have arrested an alleged hacker who stole Bitcoin totaling more than $1 million by hijacking cell phones. Investigative cybercrime blog KRBE on security reported Wednesday, August 22nd. What's going on here?
Well, from March to June, only about 3 months of work.
Man, he got caught quick.
Yeah, man.
He made a lot of money, though.
Yeah, Narvaez, his account on Bittrex actually processed over 157 Bitcoin, which is around $1 million. The police confirmed that BitPay is what he used in order to purchase his 2018 McLaren from a car dealership in Southern California, which is hilarious because if you're going to steal $1 million worth of Bitcoin, you probably don't want to use exchanges and BitPay in order to process.
He don't know the full plan. He don't have the plan.
Yeah, I would say he knows a little bit of the plan. But it is crazy that this is happening again on phones because a lot of the phone companies have come under scrutiny. We've actually discussed the $224 million lawsuit the guy is taking out against AT&T because somebody did precisely the same thing to steal $24 million from him. And this is becoming something that people who look at stealing cryptocurrency use is the phones. That is one of the security measures that is on the lowest level for them to get into to port out. And like we said, if you're going to be a criminal, don't be a dumb criminal. Because if you process $1 million through Bittrex and then all of a sudden you show up with a McLaren, that's definitely going to raise some eyebrows.
Well, we know
as a 19-year-old.
We know Bittrex working with the feds officially now.
Oh, man. And you're 19 years old? Yeah, that's a tough one to get out of, buddy.
And it looks like Vice revealed that the SIM swapping underworld regarded the 19-year-old as one of the best SIM swappers out there. Well, I mean, if you put up a quick mill in 3 months, I would say you're pretty good.
Oh, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, definitely. But like they always say, it's not the stealing that's the hard process. It's the exit. It's getting out of it. How do you get out of it? You got $1 million in Bitcoin. How do you use it? Definitely don't want to use Bittrex, buddy. Hopefully they'll hire him. And
that is crazy.
Because don't finish his life at 19, you know what I mean? Because, he's only 19. So.
But again, to me, it just shows, Bittrex, we see who you're working with.
Oh, yeah.
The correct answer would have been, no, you can't have his records, period.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting his financial records out?
Yeah. But they already succumbed to the pressure with the KYC stuff they had, so you already knew that was coming.
Antonio said, give that guy Monero's white paper.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're doing $1 million.
Yeah, somebody get this man privacy coin. And then somebody said, give him a job. Yeah, that's what I say. It's like when you're that young and you have make $1 million in 3 months doing whatever.
Again, you don't arrest those people.
Yeah, that's what you probably
those are the future. All right, we just need to redirect that energy to something positive. They are the future.
Oh yeah.
All right. Other than that, what are we doing for the free Satoshis today?
Oh yeah. So our free Satoshi question is, how many senators or people in the House of Representatives do you think have crypto? So far, we've uncovered 2, I believe, that have come out and stated it, that we've reported on. How many do you think in total? How many senators, how many people in the House of Congress or House of Representatives, and why? Do you think somebody may have gotten it because they need to hide their funds, or you can have fun with it, but let us know. Put your public address, and we'll send those free Satoshis.
As always, thanks for watching. Have a happy Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.